Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to...
Did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do.
Okay.
He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My older brothers and
that's pretty
sisters
much how
are
we
doing
do.
very well for themselves back in Takoa. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be funny. I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
Yep. I can vouch for this. Brothers can be gits to each other. But if anyone else is gits to your brothers, then there's a certain code. The only person allowed to be a git to my brother is me. Or my sister. She gets a pass. Ooh. Things to collect. Ah, right, okay. Now, we are in... I was about to say where we were, and then I got distracted with the conversation. We are in the Brackenbury district. Now, this looks to be a pretty nice... Oh, actually, it's a very narrow district. Okay. Oh, wow. Ardra. Ardra Cliffs. That's pretty cool. The Charred Barrel. Raymont Manor. House Dominel. First Fires. That's where we want to be. The Sanitarium. Andra's Gift. And Hardret House. I don't believe we've actually got any reason to be going to any of these places except... No, that's not it. Except the Sanitarium. Yeah, all three of these quests have the Sanitarium, but I'm fairly certain that none of these have anything... Document from Dunrid Row. Dunrid Row... I'm going to have to find out where that is. And as with everywhere else, I'm not just going to poke my head into... other places, unless I've got a reason to go there. Can I climb through a window? Really? Ooh. But it looks like this is an inn of some sort, so let's pop into the inn, see what's going on in there. The Palzerka. Charred Barrel. Why is it charred? Was there a fire? Charred Barrel is the finest inn in the city if you're looking for lodging. I'm not, but we'll poke our head in, see if we can pick up any quests in this area. You never know. Again, I'd rather go to a location because I have a purpose to be there than just wandering around, poking my head into everyone's house. It just seems a little bit rude, honestly. Each plate and utensil has been polished and to a spotless shine. The thin-stemmed goblets. Let's see. Where is it? The thin-stemmed goblets ring melodiously at the strike of a fingernail. Ah, lovely. And yet it sounds rather rowdy. Thristwin. The young elf is dressed in gaudy robes that he seems ready to cast off. He picks at a heavily brocaded sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up to you. Did she send you to run me out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Cyril I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puffs up his chest and glances at the exit. Okay. Let's see. If I were after you, you'd already be using pulp under the table. No. It might be true, but no. I'm not after you, but maybe I can help. He pulls at a shining button. That's a relief, but I don't see how. Cyril's a courtesan over at the Salty Mast in Andra's Gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor and send him her way. They have a good time and Cyril takes her fee. And a little extra. Shenanigans. That's not very nice. He rubs his fingers together. 100 coppers here, a trinket there. It's a bounty for us. And these lords and ladies never notice anything missing. I don't think the whole Robin Hood thing is going to pass here. That's dishonest. No harm done then. Better not try anything with me. It is dishonest, but go on. Anyway, we always split the bounty. Until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. She takes a necklace off some noble. It's an Ingwithian medallion. Damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. He tugs at the gold chain around his neck. And even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. Sagani brow furrows in pity. That's a hard thing. You're not being taken in by him, are you, Sagani? Damn it, you're working your wiles on the ladies. Glyndor is going to have to help you if Sagani wants you to be helped. But damn it, man. That's a low blow. I'll see about getting the medallion from Saril. Tell me more about your situation. You're both a couple of cheats, and you're finally getting what you deserve. Good riddance, that's what Glyndor wants to say. But Sagani seems taken in by your pitiful story. Sagani, how can we turn you down with a face like that? Tell me more about your situation. Picks at the hem of his sleeve. What do you want to know? What makes this medallion important to you? I grew up in Ir Glanfath with the Shattering Spear clan. We Glanfathans have protected Ingwithian ruins for thousands of years. It's the one duty the gods ask of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring on his pinky. But treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory, and we left the wilds we'd dwelled in for generations. Okay, well, you are a cheat, but I'm starting to forgive you a little bit. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around the Deerwood and probably live on crusts of bread. He looked at his embroidered robe with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. The Shattering Spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favour and so return home? It rather reminds me of a story I heard somewhere. I like you, Kana. You seem like you've done well enough for yourself. He clenches his heavily adorned hands. It was this or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan. But I give it all up for that medallion. I offered too, but it's worth more than anything I've got, and Saril knows that. Still, I don't understand why you can't take the money. Well, I can understand why, so Glyndor can as well. Tell me about Saril. She's a courtesan at the Salty Mast over in Ondra's gift. She wasn't born to much, but she's done what she has to in order to escape that. He gazes at a string of amber beads around his wrist. She's a good friend. He folds his arms in his trailing, wrinkled sleeves. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held to for generations. You know, you are both cheats. But the fact that you still recognize her as a friend, even though you're basically at odds with her. Alright then. So, will you help me get the medallion? I'll see about getting the medallion from Saril. You'll find her at the Salty Mast. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying, so you'll have to go through Maya. He fidgets with his sleeve. But whatever you do, please don't hurt her. I wasn't going to hurt her. You'd already said that she was your friend. Besides, Glyndor doesn't go randomly around hurting people, even they kind of deserve it sometimes. Well, sometimes when they do deserve it, he does. Glyndor is a complicated fellow, okay? Let's have a look around. There's a couple of nobles. Ooh. Yeah, we'll take that. Let's have a chat. Despite what you may have heard, nothing unusual goes on at the Sanitarium. Oh, right, okay. How about you? Can we have a word? We're very lucky to have, Dunrid Row based in Brackenbury. It makes the district feel safer. Ha ha! House Dominel has a dark reputation, but it's perfectly good neighbours. The sooner Lord Raymond commits his crazy daughter to the Sanitarium, the better. Good day to you, sir. Okay, sorry. Understudy. And though it may splinter my soul, I will... Okay, you carry on learning your lines there. I will not... Okay, yeah, you really do need to practice. The script and props to a production of The Most Unfortunate Tale of Favia and Burnant. Okay, maybe we'll swing by and see that show. I imagine Glyndor is very fond of performances, as is Kana. And the rest can just... Well, if they're not fond of it, they can grow fond of it, because... Me and Kana are going to see that production, damn it. I mean, Glyndor and Kana are going to see that production. Lord Gatterman, I never would have believed it. Are you certain you're in the right district? The Charred Barrel is the finest inn in the city. Okay, I think they're talking to me. Despite what you may have heard, nothing unusual goes on in the Sanitarium. We're very lucky to have Dunrid Row based in Brackenbury.
Indeed.
There's a noble over here. House has a dark reputation, but they're perfectly good neighbors. These days, it's rare to find folks who'll do so much for strangers. Oh, I hope you're talking about me there. Right, we've got Nonton. Begging your pardon. Oh, it's you. It's good to see you well. We had a few rough days here, but then we found this place, and they were kind enough to hire us both. Oh, wait. Nonton. I remember you now. Things have been wonderful. I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've done. I'm fairly certain, Nonton. No, that was not it. Unwanted vengeance from the grave. Was this Yeah, Nonton. Well, kind of glad that you're happy and things are going well for you. It's hard work, but good wages. Can't complain. Okay. Abel Hart's Scarian.
How do you do?
The man is dressed in neat but functional clothes. His sun-wrinkled skin and limber musculature reflect a life spent in the wilderness. Well met. What brings you to the Charred Barrel? Are there any adventures here I could hire? No, I don't want to hire any. Who are you? I was a cartographer for the Duke for decades. He rubs his neatly stubbled cheek. Crossed the White March half a dozen times and mapped most of the ruins of the Thane Bog. He grins, flashing a gold tooth. A good career, but one suited to younger men. When I came back to Defiance Bay for good, Cliver and a few other friends in the Knights helped me get the rights to refurbish this place. There's strong ale, quality entertainment, and a fresh sea breeze. He raises a mug. What more could a man want? Indeed, I like your way of thinking. So I take it this is your place. It's my retirement. He thumps the bar. Used to be a warhorse. It used to be a warehouse back when Brackenbury saw more ship traffic. I thought he was talking about himself. But it fell out of use when the area became mostly residential. I inherited it from some great uncle who'd never had any luck pawning it off onto my cousins. Now it's the most popular spot in Brackenbury. The nobles come to unwind and kith from other districts come to mingle. He leans closer. We get a few rough types too, but they behave in here. Besides, their coin is as good as anyone else's. I like the fact that you accept them. Well done, you. Well, I don't want to rest. Show me your menu. What do you have for sale? Ooh. Dragon meat dish? Would this be cannibalism? Do I care? While tough, gamey, and notoriously hard to cook, dragon meat makes for a rich, fatty meal that is said to transfer the beast's strength and power to those that consume it. Plus 45 max endurance, plus 3 might, plus 3 resolve. Wow. No wonder it's worth 4,950. Dragon eggs. Oh no, come on. There's cannibalism, then there's eating kids. The grandest of omelettes, those that feast on dragon eggs often find that there is very little they would not dare to do. Wow, I can imagine just giving them dragon meat and then dragon egg and then is this dragon stew? Duke's own beef loaf. Seems delicious. But no, we don't want to do anything. I do actually want to... no, we'll sell these at like an arms dealer. Okay, let's head up here then. Couple of things in here. I can't take from there. I could go down there. The oven smells of roast game, hen, and baking bread. Please, don't track dirt into my kitchen. The patrons here are particular. No, that's true. Okay, let's head downstairs. Come on, you sloths. My goodness, we want to check out the basement. The cook didn't seem to mind us coming down here, so it's fair game. Bandits?
Yes?
I love how they're just called bandits as well. It's like, yeah, bandits. What? Don't you know a bandit when you see one? We all wear an armband. Pale yellow and deep amber whiskies from the Deerwood and the Living Lands rest side by side. How about this? The proprietor has collected a respectable variety of bottles from around the world, from tart Adir reds to sweet summer wines of Rawatai. Oh, I can take something from here. Sure, we'll grab that. What about this? Flasks of the infamous Soul Burn of the Deadfire Archipelago are nestled next to Crystal Clear, Nasitaki, and Glanfathan spirits. Okay, let's have a chat with the leader. Just having a little chat with my associates. It's usually pretty quiet down here. That's what the boss likes about it. Even with a Dunrid Road down the street, people don't ask too many questions here. For Brackenbury, this place is pretty low-key.
Indeed.
Well, you know what? I mean, they may be bandits, but they're not causing any trouble, so I guess we're moving on. How odd. It's one of the things that
Of course.
I do wish the game didn't do, is just signpost what people are, long before I could really draw a conclusion myself. It hasn't happened too often, but often enough that I've taken note. The sooner Lord Raymond commits his crazy daughter to the Sanitarium, the better. Pirates? Maywith. What a lovely name. Have a look. Got the ashtrays painted with colourful waves and wars in the style of Rawatai. This is a map of the Deerwood, and near Glanfath appears to predate the discovery of some of the ruins in the east. It is signed by the cartographer A. Scarian. Ah, the proprietor of this place. Okay, not allowed in there. Fair enough. I guess that makes sense. What about in here? I am allowed in there. I am very glad to have been allowed in there. An ixmetal water jug fashioned from white clay. And this map charts routes through the White March. Hello, pirate. The captain takes her shore leave with the rest of us. Good. Captain should take her shore leave with the rest of you. I love seeing the looks on those nobles' faces when we show up. Nothing like good port while at port. Ah, I see what you did there. Hello, Maywith. Maywith watches you through coal-rimmed eyes. Ah, coal. For those of you who don't know what coal is, it's basically eyeliner. It's almost like a charcoal kind of thing. Typically, if you've seen any pictures of Egyptians with the really, really heavy eyeliner around their eyes, that was done with coal. She puts her hand on the hilt of her blade, jangling the jewels that hang from her wrist. We don't know each other, stranger. Best we keep it that way. Nah, I'll press. Glyndor knows everyone, eventually. You don't seem like a local. I'm a sailor. She gives you a half smile. And a liberator of certain goods. Maywith casually fingers a large earring. And the nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask more. Well, I'm not a snob. I do try to be polite, but you've got my curiosity at the moment. What brings you to the Charred Barrel? Maywith raises an eyebrow. What's it look like? Good wine and a little peace and quiet. She flips a copper coin with her thumb. And Scarian doesn't ask too many questions. Oh, I wanted to talk more. Damn. Maywith looks like an interesting character. So does the bandit leader downstairs. I like this place. It seems that all the rough sorts, they're like, yeah, you know what, we're onto a good thing. This is a nice place to just stop. So, yeah, let's not have a fight here or do anything stupid that'll get us kicked out.
Hail, traveler.
Can you tell me about it? Anyone? No? Oh, damn it. I was hoping that maybe you'd have something more to say about Maywith and the bandit leader downstairs. Though the bandit leader didn't have a name. It's usually a good sign that they're not really that important. But we now know that the place we need to find that information on the... So, the Dunwood Row, was it? Let me just double check. Dunwood Row is here somewhere. Can we scroll this around? No? It's going to be in one of these then. Raymond Manor. Now, there was something about that fellow's daughter. I've got a funny feeling that if we tried to climb through the window, we'd end up climbing into someone's bedroom. That's not something that Glyndor wants to do, especially if he's got a crazed daughter. It might set her off. He'd have nothing but well, not really innocent intentions, but innocent intentions in regards to any daughters that he found in the rooms. Might think that it would be okay to help himself to a few nobles' coins here and there, but... Cocoa! Ah, yeah, okay. Take that. Lord Gatorman. I never would have believed it. Are you certain you're in the right district? Why? Do I not look like I'm from around these parts? There isn't so much as a spot on these oranges. Ah, that's not good. It's like when you buy potatoes from the shop and they're completely clean. Potatoes come from the dirt. They're meant to have dirt on them. That's how you can tell that they're normal potatoes. Don't trust any potatoes that don't have a spot of dirt on them, by the way. Pro tip there. Something untoward when vegetables are completely clean. Right, well, this is, if I recall... Oh, Storm now. Where is... I mean, I don't see anything about that place. Maybe this is going to be it. This big old house there, or maybe it'll be in the Sanitarium, perhaps. We'll walk around a little bit more. See if we can't find anything about Dunrid Row. But if we can't... Let's have a proper look at this. Hello? There we go. Well, it's not going to let us have a look at it, apparently. There we go. The marble is cool and perfectly smooth. Droplets of crystal clear water bead the statues. How lovely. Charred Barrel, find us in. We've been there. It's actually quite nice. I
Feels
agree.
like I've been tossed around in a snowstorm.
Well, we can have a rest if you want before we go into the Sanitarium. If you're absolutely certain. Just hear me out. With this procedure, her soul would be returned intact. More or less. More or less? Is that how you plan on presenting your idea to Ethelmore? Why? Not good? No, generally not good if you say more or less. No, not good. Speak with the head warden, Ethelmore, if you wish to make an appointment with one of our animancers. Ooh, got someone over here. Too many variables. Okay.
Hail, traveler.
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on a page of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. Tell me about yourself. Glyndor, you're going to get a reputation for yourself if you keep walking up to women and say, tell me about yourself. What are you so busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and that out of them at death. But we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Waidwin's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's a theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the research I need to put it into practice. This is the problem with animancers. You meddle in things that you don't understand. No. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pendgrim. It contains research from Pendgrim's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumoured to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pendgrim's work is considered to be one of the more, daring animancy texts. Not something generally circulated amongst novices, nor easy to get hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. Kana, I see your eyes sparkling with intrigue. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships Wheel, and which means that she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. Maybe she could be persuaded. You're welcome to try, but you wouldn't be the first. She sighs, looking at look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? Well, let's have a few questions about this. Tell me about the theorems. Pendgrim was an animancer working in the Deerwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. Read also, probably inhumane and unethical. He was able to research souls, to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial, to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? Nadine twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh. Living, soul-infused flesh. That was what the fellow in the catacombs was probably talking about. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that yet. And you wonder why Grimda won't share this research with you? Sounds like necromancy. Sounds dangerous. I see. It does sound like necromancy, honestly. Nonsense! Necromancy is magic. This is science. She emphasizes the last word. Science! Well, if it's for science, I guess we have no issues. Why doesn't Grimda lend the books you need? The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rarer ones, and Grimda in particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in the Deerwood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research, but I've never understood these religious types. Aeloth scowls at the Animancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I'd like to know about the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Well, I've already been there. What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful text in the Deerwood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. Well, tell us a little bit more about it. You'll find it in the Copperlane district. It's dedicated to the god of secrets and revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expansive library in the Deerwood. Well, that settles it. We simply must go see it, right? We've already been there, Kana. Did you forget? Anything else? Go on then, Glindur. Tell me about yourself. I'm an animancer at the Sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Waidwin's legacy. I'm not going to ask that. We don't need to know. Okay. Well, we have a new quest, I suppose. Hello, animancer. Oh, strong silent type. Very well. Right, well, it's time to head into the Sanitarium, it seems. These charming windows are reinforced with iron bars and double thickness of glass. Oh dear. Right, well, let's press on. What are we going to find inside? Other than me dropping things all over my desk when I reach for my teacup. Worry not, I didn't spill my teacup, I just knocked the coaster over. I would have made a very different sound if I had been spilling my tea. Right, Sanitarium guard. Hello. Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the animancers. Oh, perish the thought. The table is set with an assortment of leaflets and booklets with titles like Practical Benefits of Animancy and Soul Adjustment for the Well-Adjusted Soul. The head warden of the Sanitarium is a statue, quite remarkable. That would actually make a lot of sense. I've already got one of those. They say the words of the patients are kept locked below. Everlasting life. Imagine the possibilities. I'd rather not. It would get boring. Animancy means progress and experimentation. Unfortunately, that makes some people uncomfortable. Well, as long as you're not experimenting on them, I'm sure they have no problem with it. The problem is, you probably are trying to experiment on them. Nazi Tak Poetry, a compilation. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll read it eventually. And The Most Unfortunate Tale of Favia and Brenna, a Valiant Tragedy. Oh, this is the play. Let's not spoil the ending. We intend to see that play at some point. Warden, an animancer from the Republics, Ben Cello, has requested a visit. That's fantastic. Okay, let's have a look in here. Got some more books, no doubt. Said Waidwin's farmer became a god. Okay, we'll take that. Check this. The table is set with an assortment of leaflets and various other things. See, the patient is unresponsive. Okay. Placed a small stone upon the patient's forehead. Oh, it's a lesson. I see. Portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We used this stone as a vessel for transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Unfortunately, the extended disassociation has permanent side effects. Patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Poor old Oswin. Okay, well, hello, Warden. Let's have a chat. Head Warden Moore. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinkingly over the bustle of harried academics pestering by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned toward you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveller. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium? You may have a member of the Laden Key in your midst. I'm looking for an animancer named Mordred. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your present state. Tell me about the sanitarium. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? Let's start with the obvious one. I'm curious how you come to be in your present state. In the statue, you mean? Well, he laughs. I was old. It seemed wrong to me, a lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that, I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple, as our techniques go, and for that I am grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own. I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humour me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Okay. About the sanitarium. A history lesson? This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with some cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was those born with, shall we say, ill-favoured souls came to populate its streets in droves. Thus, the sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion in animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been in the forefront of animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today it's... well, I can't say it is exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand, so it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have representatives in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Ava must be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Okay, well, we've got a couple of things we need to do here. But we're going to start with what our friend is, and ourselves, I suppose, are in need of. Is there anyone here who knows about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Ruvua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belisage. Okay. I'm looking for an animancer named Mordred. Mordred? Of course. You'll find him downstairs in the first room on the right. Between you and me, you may have a member of the Laden Key in your midst. Ethelmore groans and the stones around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they're meddling or whether calamity is struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Laden Key as well, I take it? They're up to something. I'm trying to determine what. I'm not going to say they have something I need. I don't need to give them that information. And I'm not going to say I don't like what they stand for, because I don't think Linduru necessarily is against it. They are always up to something. Of that, you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? It'd be unwise to consider anyone above suspicion. This seems the wisest thing to say. Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Farewell. Well, that's actually not too bad. We've actually got leave from the head of the Sanitarium to actually question people on this. That's probably good. Okay, two-sided. Aloth revealed that an awakened soul, blah, blah, blah. Aloth mentioned Defiance Bay. He asked for help. Being told to look for someone named Belisage. She works on the lower floor of the Sanitarium. Okay, the man who waits. Question the animancers about suspicious activity. Head Warden Ethelmore invited me to speak to the animancers in the Sanitarium and see if they've noticed anything unusual that might point me to any Laden Key involvement here. Okay, well, we've done a lot of reading, we've progressed some plots a little bit, and it is now, unfortunately, time for me to wrap up this episode. So with that, I am going to have to bid you farewell. I do hope you've enjoyed the episode, though, and will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.